Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing some Raidraptor test hands. So I'm really excited for this deck because this deck is kind of like Blackwings but mechanical and with XYZ monsters. So it's a really fun deck that I highly recommend you guys give a try. It's basically a deck that summons Ultimate Falcon, which is one of the most powerful extra deck cards in the entire game. Because basically what this card does is it's unaffected by all other card effects, and it does burn damage or reduces opponent's attack points down by 1,000, which is really awesome, and it's one of the first cards that ever came out that was immune to all other card effects. So, without further ado, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell on the screen, become part of the notification squad, and definitely check the Patreon down in the description because we have some awesome rewards for you guys, like getting your name in the description of every single video, you're getting a signed card sent to you in the mail, or even getting to request a deck profile every single month that you are a patron. So, without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So, this deck is really a cool deck. I'm going to do a quick shuffle of it and basically explain to you guys what this deck does. The version that I have built, there are a lot of different versions of this deck, just like how Blackwings have different versions. Where basically you can play the deck where it's a rank up build or just an XYZ spam build. I play this deck as basically a rank up build, the way that it was originally intended to be played, where you play cards like rank up Magic Astral Force, cards like the Skip Force and Soul Shave Force and stuff like that, where you rank up all the way into Ultimate Falcon. I guess you would call this version Ultimate Falcon Turbo, because you can end with it easily with 2 Ultimate Falcons on your side of the field. It's not very hard to end with 2 of them on the field. I don't ever summon 3 because I only play 2 in the entire extra deck. Because you never really have the opportunity to go into 3. Now, the deck has some awesome capabilities, like going into Cyber Dragon Infinity, or going into really good boss monsters like Ice Beast Zerofine, where she negates all cards on the field face up, which is really, really helpful. And this deck can even make cards like Utopia Double, which is really, really beneficial to the deck because you have some awesome plays with the deck with Utopia Double being able to swing for all that damage. Because you have something that's completely immune to everything, like Ultimate Falcon, and then Utopia that comes in with the Clutch Victory just to kind of come in and swing in from behind and take your opponent out. So let's do our first quick test hand to reveal our first 5, just to kind of show you guys what this deck can do. Let's give it a quick cut like you would in a regular tournament setting, and give it a quick draw. So we're going to draw into our Singing Lanius, which is good for an XYZ play. Skip Force, that's really good because you're immediately going to get to go into a XYZ play. Another Skip Force, that's not bad at all because it's not once per turn that you can activate this, so it's really good to have maybe multiples of this. Vanishing Lanius, we've already got a play going right here with just these cards, and a Pain Lanius, which is really good to have with something like Vanishing Lanius. Now, this deck could go first, it could go second, it doesn't matter at all. But it's really easy to go off with a hand like this, because all you can need to do is like normal summon your copy of Vanishing Lanius, and then special summon your copy of, let me get that autofocus really quick. Normal summon your Vanishing Lanius, special summon your Singing Lanius, target the Singing with Pain, and then immediately special summon it to your side of the field, and then you can overlay, search a card from the deck, like Fuzzy Lanius, and then you have 4 monsters on the field, and you have 2 Skip Forces in hand that can get you into a lot of plays. But if you were going second, you'd have Soul Shave Force, and you could go into something like a copy of your Cyber Dragon Infinity that you have in the extra deck as well. So you have a lot of plays just going with this hand, because you have potentially 4 monsters that you can go into with this hand, because you have the Y-Strix in the extra deck. So let's get into the next test hand and see what we can do in the next one. That was a really good first test hand. That's the thing I like about Raidraptor so much, is they're so consistent with being able to just special summon monsters from the hand. If you draw any 2 monsters, kind of like Blackwings, you're going to have those potential hands like what I just showed you, where it's really easy to pull something off. I don't really ever get dead hands. I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to get a dead hand. I don't ever really get dead hands in my Raidraptors. Like, I don't remember the last time I ever got a Raidraptor or a dead hand in Raidraptors. It's usually that my opponent summons something bigger than Ultimate Falcon, and I just get my opponent swings over it. So, Skip Force and Tribute Lanius, that's already an awesome hand because you can just normal summon the Tribute Lanius, send Mimicry to Graveyard, use the Mimicry to banish, and then search Fuzzy. And then you have the Skip Force to search, so you have a really good play there. A second Skip Force, again, Not bad. Call by the Grave just stops hand traps, which is nice. And then another Tribute Lanius. Okay, so drawing doubles like this is not optimal because it's not a brick by any means. But drawing doubles of normal summons like this is not great because you want to draw one that you can special summon and one that you can normal summon, like drawing a Tribute or a Fuzzy, or drawing Tribute or Fuzzy Lanius together, just not two Tributes together. But let's just say that we went second again. Cattle Call instantly with any rank up spell like this gets us a free copy of our Ultimate Falcon, which is really cool because Cattle Call lets you send a monster you control to the grave whose original type is Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast, and then you get to special summon from your extra deck a monster. So let me show you really quickly, just in case we don't draw into it in one of our test hands, the way that you actually use this card. So the way that you actually use Cattle Call in this deck, because I play Ultimate Falcon Turbo, is if you have any monster on the field, it doesn't matter, you just activate the Cattle Call, tribute your monster, and then once you do, special summon Satellite Cannon Falcon or Ultimate Falcon. It doesn't matter, either one, depending on which one you want to go for. If you want to go for Final Fortress, to go into this, you special summon this guy. If you want to go into Ultimate Falcon, you special summon Satellite Cannon Falcon, and you go immediately up into your next play. This will go to the graveyard right over here, and then you just activate one of your skip forces, and then you immediately put the Ultimate Falcon on top, which basically just got you a free Ultimate Falcon, and we still have all these other plays that this would have sent something to the graveyard, and you have a lot of other potential plays there. So that's just a basic play for the Ultimate Falcon Turbo, just to get you a free monster on the board on the field that's basically immune to everything, which is insanely good. If you can do that and then summon Utopia double behind it, there's not a lot your opponent's going to be able to do to stop it unless they stop it right off the bat, which is going to be really pivotal to them not getting OTK'd, because that is going to OTK them. Just the Utopia double on its own. So let's do our last draw test hand and see what we can get. Mimicry is not a card you actually want to draw. Fuzzy is not bad at all. Nibiru, if you're going first, is really good because then you can drop Nibiru, make the Ultimate Falcon, and then swing over the token. Rank Up Magic Astro Force is basically an extra skip force that lets us rank up higher into our other monsters. And then for the final draw, drawing into a Tribute Lanius, that's really good because you can normal summon the Tribute Lanius, send Mimicry to graveyard, search another Raidraptor that you need, and then start making XYZ plays. Now let's say we do drop the Nibiru on our opponent and we go into our next turn. Just for instance, you get a double or nothing. That's not great. You don't want to draw double or nothing, but it's there just in case. That is a problem with playing Garnets in the deck, like double or nothing. It does happen. So that's just something that you kind of need to be aware of. So let's go ahead and do our next test hand and actually play one out. So this is basically Raidraptors are a really fun deck, and I really enjoy playing around with them because they, like, none of those hands that I just showed you were dead. None of them were dead. You could play around with them really easily. You could go after them with Utopia double with any of the hands. Like if you draw 2 level 4s and one of them can be special summoned, you have a play. Like you have something that you can do. So let's do our first play out test hand. So our first play out test hand, you got Cattle Call. All we need is a rank up spell now. Zaphros the Elite is actually a searchable card. I don't know what he's doing in here. He's not a Raidraptor, but he plays along with the archetype. I'll show you how he kind of comes in play. You usually special summon him off the Y Strix though. Nibiru, that's not bad at all. Rank up Magic Skip Force, that's fine. And then a copy of Vanishing Lanius. So basically with this hand, the Vanishing Lanius cannot special summon the Zaphros, but let's say that we're going second. Let's just say we go second. Give our opponent the Nibiru, so they get the token, and we get the Nibiru. And I'm going to do the going second hand first, because usually we go second and Raidraptors are first. It doesn't matter with Raidraptors. But let's say we give our opponent the Nibiru. Regardless, usually our opponent's going to want to go first so they can establish that really good board. But we're going to Nibiru them, and we're going to draw for the turn. So readiness is not... it's not bad. It's not bad at all. But we have an Ultimate Falcon in hand. So all you need to do with this is simply normal summon your Zaphros, Cattle Call, send to grave, like I showed you earlier. Special summon out the Ultimate Falcon. Once we have the Ultimate Falcon on field, you activate the copy of Skip Force. Skip Force overlays the Ultimate Falcon because it ranks up 2 levels higher, and then both of these go to the graveyard. Now at this point, if you want to do something funny, you can, if you don't think you can get over the token, like you're going to be able to get over the token. That's not going to be a big issue. But if you want to do something really fun, you can bounce the Nibiru back to hand and put the Zaphros back on the field if you want to go that route. Would I do that? It depends on the field. You could switch the Nibiru to attack position, attack into the token, because usually it's going to have a lot lower defense, especially now in days and age, because a lot of decks don't play high defenses, or they play link monsters which don't have defense points, and then you swing with the Nibiru for 3,000 and you pass with the Raidraptor Readiness set, and the Raidraptor Readiness is going to prevent your Ultimate Falcon from being destroyed by battle, which is going to be really beneficial. Now, let's let's go for one more draw and just see what turn 5 would look like, which is a second Cattle Call. Now, the second Cattle Call is a little bit dead because you're not able to use it, but that's okay because we have Nibiru and Ultimate Falcon. They're not going to usually get past a field like this, and you can do something like this where you just normal summon your Vanishing and then bounce from your field to your hand the Nibiru if it survives, special summon back the Zaphros, and then go into an XYZ play or a Link play from there, which you have a lot of plays going on there. So let's go into it one more test hand. You guys actually might get lucky and get 3 in this one, because Raidraptors actually burn through. The deck does a lot of simplistic things. You don't have to do crazy stuff with Raidraptors the way that I built them. You can play the Smorg Link in here. I play the Smorg Link in my extra deck. You can play Mist Valley, Apex Avian, and Thunderbird. You can go that route. There is combos that you can go out there and do that. I'm not a big fan of it because I feel like on the next list that Thunderbird or Apex Avian is going to get banned. So I didn't play it in this one in basically waiting for that to get hit. If it does, I'll show a basic combo of how to do that later on. But it's really easy that you just make the Smorg Link and then summon Apex Avian and then use Union Carrier to equip it to the Apex Avian or the copy of any of other monster on the field, which is really easy. But I'm not a big fan of it because it's an infinite lock. So let's go ahead and do our next test hand and see what we can get. So this time we're going to go first, totally go first. And we're going to draw into a Fuzzy Lanius, a copy of Raidraptor Nest, Cattle Call, Mimicry Lanius, and a copy of Tribute Lanius. Okay, this is a really good hand because you have a lot of options here. So with the Cattle Call in hand, you can basically go into an Ultimate Falcon if you can get a rank up magic spell, which our Y-Strix does search the rank up spell, which makes a heck of a lot of difference. So what we're going to do is we're going to normal summon out our Tribute Lanius. That is going to be your very first play, and activate the effect of your Tribute Lanius first. So I'm going to lay this down here so you guys can see open hand what we're going to do every play and every step of the way. So the Tribute Lanius' effect is going to trigger, which he's your best starter of the entire deck. And the Tribute Lanius is going to send from deck to graveyard our other copy of the Mimicry Lanius, which thank goodness we didn't draw it. The Mimicry Lanius is then going to banish itself and is going to search a monster from the deck, which can be something like a Pain Lanius, because then it gets you an extra monster on the field. You want to search something that's going to get you an extra monster on the field that you can special summon. And that's the only one that you can really special summon from the deck. So that's going to help out quite a lot. So you shuffle up that deck really quick, and basically the next play is going to be really simple. All you're going to do is activate the copy of Raidraptor's Nest, because it's going to let you add a Raidraptor from deck to hand when you have 2 Raidraptors on the field, which we're about to do. We're going to special summon our copy of Fuzzy Lanius because we do have a Raidraptor monster on our side of the field. It's basically like Boar the Spear for this deck. And after you do that, you can use the Raidraptor Nest to search a Raidraptor from the deck, which I would search probably out of the deck a copy of either Lastrix or I probably search Singing. I would search Singing because Singing is going to get us another play going off, which is going to help us out a lot. So now I would definitely activate the effect of Pain Lanius, which Pain Lanius is kind of one of those cards that you look at and it's like, this card isn't that great, but it is. So what this card does is it lets you target a Raidraptor on your side of the field, and then you lose life points equal to whichever's lower, either the attack or the defense. And then you special summon this card from your hand, and it becomes the level of the monster that you targeted. So you would target your copy of Tribute Lanius, and you would lose 400 life points and special summon out the Pain Lanius to your side of the field. Now we have 3 monsters on the field, so for simplistic sakes, we're going to link away the Fuzzy Lanius, and we're going to link away the Pain Lanius to link summon into our Y-Strix. Now, Y-Strix effect is going to activate, letting us special summon a level 4 Dark Wing Beast from the deck, which is why we play the Zaphros the Elite. The Zapdos the Elite is going to come in super handy because it's going to help us get our XYZ plays rolling in this deck really, really, really easily. So we're going to special summon our Zapdos the Elite to our side of the field, and then use the Zapdos to overlay on top of the copy of our Tribute Lanius. And we're going to go into, at this point, yeah, I'd probably still, you got to go into 4 Strix at this point. So 4 Strix is going to go here. You detach, excuse me, I am running ahead. Since the Fuzzy Lanius went to the graveyard, you do get to add another copy of Fuzzy Lanius, which is something to keep in mind. You can't special summon it this turn, but that's totally fine. So we're going to detach that copy of the Raidraptor Zapdos the Elite, the Blackwing Zapdos the Elite, and then we're going to get to add from our deck to their hand another Raidraptor monster from our deck to our hand that is a level 4, I believe. Yes, a level 4 Darkwing Beast monster from our deck to our hand. Now at this point, you could play one Boar of the Spear and it would add to your hand and then you could special summon it. Or, since we're playing a turbo version, I'm going to add my copy of Lastrix, because Lastrix is going to help out a lot more because it's going to get me into a second Ultimate Falcon follow-up with my Cattle Call later on. Now at this point, you have a couple of different options that you could do in this deck. You could bounce this to hand, special summon back your monster, but the Y-Strix is actually going to trigger because if a Raidraptor XYZ monster activates its effect, you can set a rank up magic spell directly from your deck, and if you do, and it's a quick play, it can be activated this turn. So, now, you have another play. You can add a quick play spell that's a rank up from your graveyard, or from your deck to your hand. Now, I would probably add, if we're going to go for a little bit more of control variant, I would probably add the Soul Shave Force to go into our copy of Infinity. But I'm just going to go ahead and grab the copy of Skip Force because I want to go Ultimate Falcon. So you shuffle this deck right back up because I don't think you're going to go back in. You might go back in. And we're going to special summon our copy of Singing Lanius to our side of the field. Now, you can special summon Singing Lanius if you control another Raidraptor monster that's an XYZ. We're going to bounce from our graveyard, or from our deck to our hand, or from our field to our hand, excuse me, I was all over the place. Field to hand, our copy of Raidraptor Nest. And then you have another XYZ play that you can go into. Now, at this point, if you wanted to lock your opponent down, you could go for Ice Beast Xerophine. You could go for Xerophine here. You could go for Abyss. Well, you can't go for Abyss Dweller. I believe you can only go for Raidraptor monsters right now. Because we special summon the copy of Fuzzy Lanius, excuse me. You can add Raidraptor. If you control Raidraptor, you can special summon this card, discard it to the graveyard, and add Raid. Yeah. You can only use the effect of Raidraptor Fuzzy Lanius once per turn. You cannot special summon monster each turn except for Raid. Yeah, okay. So we can't special summon anything but Raidraptors, except for the card effect of a Raidraptor. Turn you activate this effect. That's fine. So we're going to put that right back and put this back on the field. You can special summon it off this effect, but you can't special summon any other monsters, which is totally fine. So we're going to backtrack a little bit. We're going to put that back in the field. And so what we're going to do at this point is you're going to do something really simple, because we have a play set up for next turn. We have another Fuzzy, and we have Mimicry and Lastrix on our side of the field. And we're going to activate that Cattle Call. And we're going to send to the graveyard our copy of 4 Strix, and immediately go for the Satellite Cannon, and then flip over that Skip Force and go into Ultimate Falcon right there. Now, at this point, you have this really awesome board and this hand that's been established. And you could pass turn right there. So we're going to pass turn and go to our next turn and draw into our copy of Tribute Lanius. Now, the Tribute Lanius, we only play 2 Mimicries, so we're not going to worry about the Tribute Lanius as effect. So we're going to special summon to our side of the field the copy of Singing, because usually our opponent's not going to be able to get past the field like this. You're going to special summon Singing. Singing effect is going to just special summon. Then you can normal summon something, or even special summon from graveyard. We can make it really easy. And now, this is the next turn, you're going to go for Zapdos. Zapdos is then going to trigger, and bouncing this to hand, putting this back in your hand. You can then reactivate it and add another monster from your deck to your hand. Which we're going to add from deck to hand a copy of our Vanishing Lanius, just to be able to get another monster out on our side of the field. At this point, you'd go into your 4 Strix. Your 4 Strix would let you add, which you could detach a material from this card, and it will let you add from your deck to your hand a copy of your Vanishing Lanius, because you're going to stack their effects, which is going to be really powerful. Keep in mind, this is the next turn. This is turn 3. Turn 1 ended as soon as I put the Ultimate Falcon on the field. So for turn 3, now that we put the Force Strix on the field, you can set another rank up magic spell. So at this point, let's just go ahead and set up the Soul Shave Force, because you can do a lot of good plays with that Soul Shave Force. So we're going to set it and then activate it. When you activate it, you can special summon from your graveyard a Raidraptor monster, and then overlay on top of it a monster that's 2 ranks higher. Guess what? Infinity's 2 ranks higher. You special summon that Infinity to your side of the field. Then you can normal summon something like your Vanishing Lanius, and guess what? Vanishing Lanius special summons another Raidraptor from our hand. I would normally summon the copy of my Vanishing Lanius behind it, but I can use that for another turn play, but I'm probably not going to get another turn because I'm going to OTK. So let's go ahead and special summon the Mimicry Lanius to our side of the field. You're not going to use this effect, so it's just summoning to the field. Overlay both of these, and then special summon our Utopia Double, and then use Utopia Double's effect. Detach a material, special summon or add from deck to hand our copy of Double or Nothing, and then after we go for Double or Nothing, you can immediately overlay on top of it a Utopia Double, swing at your opponent with any of these monsters that are huge now. You have something that's unaffected, negating effects, and a Utopia. Swing at your opponent, drop the Double or Nothing, and win the game, essentially. That's how you play Raidraptors. I'll do one more quick hand for you guys. We'll do a quick one so you guys can actually get 3 in this video instead of 2. So we're going to go first again. But that's basically the gist of Raidraptors. You have to kind of watch out because some of your Raidraptor monsters will actually say that you can't use the card effects. It's not all the time, but I think Fuzzy's one of the only ones. I think Pain might be too. But I got to look at it again. But the deck is really fun to play and really, 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 really fast to be able to special summon monsters on our side of the field. So for the last test hand, let's go ahead and draw. That's not bad. You don't want to draw Double or Nothing. The Nibiru is not terrible. Rank Up Magic Astro Force is not bad, and Lastrix is totally fine. We already have an Ultimate Falcon. So with this hand, let's go first. The Nibiru is not great to add on first turn, but we have a backup plan just in case our opponent blows us out and we see that our Ultimate Falcon is going to get, kicked. So we're going to normal summon this copy of Lastrix. The reason I play Lastrix in this deck at 3 is because of this reason right here. Tribute, special summon from extra deck, our copy of Satellite Cannon Falcon, and then immediately go into Astral Force. Astral Force ranks up into our Ultimate Falcon, and you already have an Ultimate Falcon on the field like that. I mean, it's that quick. Now at this point, you'd pass turn. If your opponent establishes a crazy board or hits over your Ultimate Falcon, we're just going to drop that Nibiru, because your opponent's going to special summon 5 times. You know it's going to happen. You have the Nibiru to stop them, and it's fine. So we're going to pass. They're going to pass because they used Nibiru'd them. And you're going to draw into your next card, Soul Shave Force. Soul Shave Force is really good because you did legitimately summon that Ultimate Falcon off of your rank up magic. So you just do this. Soul Shave, boom, and then go Final Fortress. Final Fortress, special summons, and then you can banish. You can use the effect of this card, and it's unaffected by other card effects. Once per turn, you detach a material from this card, and then return all banished Raidraptors you control to the graveyard, and up to twice per turn, when this card is attacking destroys a monster of battle, you can banish a Raidraptor XYZ from your graveyard, and this card can attack again in a row. Switch to attack position, swing, swing, banish, swing again, and then you pretty much win. I mean, it's simple. I mean, it's just that simple, and you have a backup play if you need to go in, because you're going to draw into that, which is pretty good, and then you draw into an Astro Force. Now, that's something that can happen sometimes, is you'll draw into doubles like that, which is rare, where you kind of brick a little bit, but it's not all the time. It's not all the time, because you usually get a hand like that, where you just summon Ultimate Falcon right off the bat, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to just simplistically summon Ultimate Falcon and go after you. So, that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you play the Ultimate Falcon Turbo version of the deck. You can play other versions where you summon the copy of Smorg up here, and then you put the copy of Union Carrier here, and then summon Mist Valley Apex Avian in the other version, and then you just go into a complete lockdown, which is another version. But I really like summoning the Infinity and going this route because it's really fun, because with Utopia double and Utopia in here, you're just swinging over anything that has less than 10,000 attack points. The Cyber Dragon Infinity negates everything, and this is unaffected by everything. So your 3 boss monsters are essentially Ultimate Falcon, Utopia double package, and then the copy of Infinity. And with this package, it's kind of hard to beat. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a really fun deck to play around with. I hope you enjoyed these test hands. You actually got 3 of them in this one because we actually were able to go through test hands relatively quickly. So without further ado, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell on there so you can become part of the notification squad. Definitely check out the Patreon down in the description and tell us down below what test hands you would actually like to see. I've been seeing a lot of people requesting Cyber Dragons, so I will try and do some Cyber Dragons later on. And I might even try and do some Karibo test hands as well if you guys want to see those. Those might be a little bit funny because those take quite a few turns because it's more about the grind game with Karibo, so I might have to show you more live duels with that one instead of test hands, because the test hands are going to look like, oh, he has a bunch of hand traps in his hand. So it's kind of like watching Cyframe test hands. It's kind of weird. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.